If you're planning to buy a golf cart in 2026, you need to watch this first, because the wrong decision could cost you thousands. Right now, the golf cart market is more confusing than ever. Prices are higher, features are more advanced, and there are dozens of brands fighting for your attention. But here's the truth. Most buyers are focusing on the wrong things. They're chasing flashy features, cheap prices, or popular names, and completely ignoring what actually determines whether a golf cart is worth buying. In this video, I'll break down everything you need to know before you spend your money, from battery technology and brand reliability to hidden costs and common traps that dealers won't tell you. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to choose the right golf cart, and more importantly, how to avoid buying the wrong one. Before we go on, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications enabled so you don't miss new videos and updates from us. Let's start with what's really happening in the market right now. Golf carts are no longer niche vehicles. They've evolved into everyday transportation in many communities, used for commuting short distances, running errands, and even replacing second cars in some neighborhoods. That shift has driven demand way up, and naturally, prices followed. In 2026, a basic new golf cart starts around $8,000, but realistically, most people are spending between $10,000 and $15,000. And if you step into premium territory, lifted carts, lithium batteries, luxury seating, you can easily hit $20,000 or more. At the same time, there's been a surge of newer brands entering the market, offering more for less. On paper, it sounds like a great deal, but in reality, this has created a split market. You have proven, reliable brands, and then you have feature-heavy carts that may or may not hold up long-term. And if you don't understand that difference, you're already at risk of making a bad purchase. Now, let's go over the biggest mistake buyers make: failure to define use case. Before you even think about brands or features, you need to answer one simple question: what are you actually going to use this golf cart for? Because this is where most people go wrong. If you're just using it in a gated community or around your neighborhood, you don't need extreme power or off-road capability. But if you're using it on a farm, rough terrain, or large property, that changes everything. If you plan to carry passengers regularly, you need rear seating and proper suspension. If you want it street legal, you need lights, signals, mirrors, and possibly registration, depending on your area. Too many buyers skip this step and end up overpaying for features they never use, or worse, buying a cart that can't handle their needs. So before anything else, define your use case clearly. That decision alone will narrow your options by at least 50%. Now let's talk power, gas versus electric. And this is where a lot of buyers get it wrong. Gas carts still have their place, no question about it. If you're planning to use your cart for long-distance driving, hauling heavy loads, or you're in an area where charging isn't always practical, gas can make a lot of sense. You're not waiting around for a battery to charge. You just pull up, fill the tank, and you're back on the road in minutes. That convenience is hard to beat, especially for work-focused use. Gas carts also tend to deliver more consistent power over long periods. If you're climbing hills all day or using attachments like cargo beds or tow kits, gas can feel a bit more endless compared to electric. But, and this is a big but, they come with trade-offs. You're dealing with engine noise, vibration, exhaust fumes, and regular maintenance. Oil changes, spark plugs, belts, filters, it all adds up over time. And then there's fuel cost. It might not seem like much at first, but over a few years, it becomes a real expense. Now compare that to electric carts. Electric has basically taken over the modern golf cart market, and honestly, it's easy to see why. They're quiet, smooth, and almost effortless to drive. You press the pedal, and you get instant torque with no lag. No engine noise, no fumes, no vibration, just a clean, comfortable ride. Maintenance is also dramatically lower. No oil changes, no fuel system issues, fewer moving parts overall. For most people using their cart in neighborhoods, golf courses, resorts, or gated communities, electric just makes more sense. And here's something a lot of people don't realize until they've owned one. Electric carts are simply more enjoyable to live with day to day. But here's where it gets really important. Not all electric carts are created equal. Because the real decision today isn't just gas versus electric anymore, it's what kind of battery system you're getting. This is the part that can make or break your entire ownership experience. You've got traditional lead-acid batteries, the old-school option. They're cheaper up front, which is why you'll still see them in a lot of budget carts. But they require maintenance. You'll need to check water levels, keep them properly charged, and if you neglect them, they degrade fast. They're also heavy, less efficient, and typically last around 3 to 5 years if you treat them well. Then you've got lithium-ion batteries, and this is where the industry is clearly heading. Lithium batteries are lighter, more efficient, and require basically zero maintenance. No watering, no corrosion issues, no performance drop-off as the charge gets low. You get consistent power from full charge all the way down, faster charging times, and a much longer lifespan, often 8 to 10 years or more. Yes, they cost more up front, sometimes significantly more, but when you factor in longevity, performance, and convenience, lithium often ends up being the better long-term investment. And here's the key takeaway most people miss. Two carts might look identical on the outside. Same seats, same lights, same features. But if one has lead acid and the other has lithium, they are not the same machine. Not even close. So when you're shopping, don't just ask, is it electric? Ask what's powering that electric system, because that answer will determine how your cart feels, how much it costs to own, and how happy you'll be a year down the line. Moving on, let's talk about the costs nobody warns you about. First, accessories. Many listings show fully upgraded carts, but the base model might not include those features. Second, battery replacement. If you're buying used, especially with lead-acid batteries, you could be looking at a major expense sooner than expected. Third, upgrades. Things like lift kits, better tires, enclosures, or sound systems add up quickly. And finally, ownership costs. Tires wear out. Brakes need servicing. Even electric carts require maintenance over time. So when you're budgeting, don't just look at the purchase price, look at the total cost of ownership. With that out of the way, let's go over one question that comes up consistently: to buy new or used? A new cart gives you warranty, reliability, and the latest features. However, a used cart can save you a lot of money if you know what to look for. If you're going used, focus on condition, battery health, and brand reputation. Test drive it. Listen for unusual noises. Check how it accelerates and brakes. And don't ignore red flags, because fixing a bad cart can cost more than buying a good one in the first place. In conclusion, buying a golf cart in 2026 isn't just about picking a model. It's about making a smart investment. Focus on your needs, choose the right battery, and don't ignore long-term support. If you do that, you won't just buy a golf cart, you'll buy the right one. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment with the cart you're considering. I'll tell you if it's worth it. And if you want to see the best golf carts you can actually buy this year, check out my previous video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.